If you don't follow me on Twitter or you're not in our Discord server, earlier the official English One Piece YouTube channel released a video broadcasting the card game in the upcoming Learn Together set. If you don't know about the Learn Together set, essentially what it is it's 3 different decks. The 3 decks being a Green Zoro deck, a starter deck 21 Luffy deck, and a Nami deck that I don't know if we officially know which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the OP11 Blue Yellow Nami, but could be different. But anyways, in this you get those 3 constructed decks, and it's essentially a learn to play style product. Going to be releasing on October 3rd, the same day as PRB02. So if you're going out and getting some PRB02, make sure to go check out for this product if you're interested. And in this product, from what we saw in the video, is that there are a ton of reprints within this product. Now at this point in time, we only saw the Green Zoro and the red Luffy deck. We know nothing about the blue yellow Nami deck. Eventually I would assume that they'll post another video showcasing that deck in like a battle, then revealing some cards. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see that and get more information of that and what is inside of it when that comes out. I'm going to show you every single card that was reprinted. I watched the whole video and got all the different cards within there to show you because I actually think it's really sweet. But first, I got to pay rent this month, so let's hear from more from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Garden. Look, I've been talking about the new King of Hearts and Cotton Candy playmats for a while now, and pre-orders are still available, releasing later this month. They're also running a special deal. You can buy any playmat. It could be one of these, it could be any of these, and you can get the Yokai playmat for just $15, a huge discount. But I'm also a huge fan of Garden's designs outside of playmats, like this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, as well as a variety of other products if you don't want to get a playmat, like stickers, pins, desk mats. Make sure to click the link in the description below and use my code at checkout, Atrocious. It helps the channel a ton and it helps support one of my favorite people in the community. Thank you, Garden, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the video. One of the things that I want to introduce before we really get head over heels into the list of cards is that the cards included in this product are tournament legal from the pre-release date in your region. So this is going to be really nice, especially if you don't own some of these cards. And there are a couple of cards that I really think are sick included in this product that you're probably going to want to get if you don't have play sets already. It's going to be a really good thing once some of these cards start going in the secondary market to be able to buy for probably a pretty cheap price. We also learned in here that there's an extra card pack of 3 different packs, 5 cards per pack, 3 types of packs, 15 different cards. I'm just going to say right now, I don't think we know exactly what that is yet. They did not reveal in the video any of those packs or anything like that. They might have a video in the future of what is included in there. We don't know if they're new cards. We don't know if they're reprinted cards, etc. One of the things that we did learn about this product, though, is that these are all having stamps on them. The stamps are really nice to be able to signify where these cards come from, what products they're available in, but also on here, which I thought was really interesting, and I don't think we exactly know what it means. You can see that in these 2 different stamps right here, we have a stamp that has a 1 on it and a stamp that has a 2 on it. Now again, I don't actually know what that means, because even though Koala's a 1 cost right on this card and it has the stamp of number 1, Zoro has a stamp number 2 and it's a 4 cost. Koala is a block 2 card if you're paying attention to rotation. Zoro is a block 3 card. I don't have any insider knowledge. If you have any info, maybe there's been a confirmation somewhere or anything like that about what that actually may mean, let me know down in the comments below. But getting into the actual list, I've got them all loaded right here on Eggman's website. Now I'll kind of go through these cards one by one, not making them so small, right? Thank you for Eggman for telling me that the zoom function on his website and his deck builder exists. But first, we've got some OP12 reprints, some brand new cards that we've got gotten recently in the One Piece trading card game in Kozuki Hiyori. Now, there's a couple different one-drop searchers in here, right, with Nami being in here as well. Nami being reintroduced because of the rotation and the manga rare treatment that it's going to be in the game for a long time now. We've also got a nice variety of SRs, so each starter deck is going to include, I believe, 2 different SRs, or at least in this video and what they showcase, there are 2 different SRs. Who knows? We didn't get to see the full entire deck that the players were running, so there's a possibility that there might be more, but if they do what is traditional of starter decks in general in the One Piece trading card game, it's probably just going to be 2 each of 2 different ones, if that makes sense. The red deck is Roronoa Zoro from Starter Deck 21. We already talked about that one, but also the 5-drop Rush Luffy that was included. This is going to be nice, right? Already those 2 cards kind of have good synergy, and in general, this is a nice 5-drop. This is pretty good, especially with OP13 right around the corner, right? You might want to consider putting this card in like your red-green Luffy deck, for example, when that comes around, and there's a lot of decks that actually play this card. It's dropped a little bit in value. It's not as difficult to get or as pricey to get as what it used to be, but I do like that there's a reprinted version of this card, especially because I don't think in PRB either of the Starter Deck 21 cards were available inside that set. The 2 SRs in green, though, at least, are 1, Cavendish. This is very, very exciting, right? Cavendish being like a $40 card right now in USD is not only being reprinted in PRB02, but also being reprinted within this set. I really like this. It's a super, super good card. There are so many good Supernova decks that you can play with this, and most all Supernova decks end up playing with this if you're green or partially green. So this one's really, really good. And another 5-cost SR that's really popular is Smoker. Smoker is a really nice card, right? Having that activate main to restand 1 Dawn and also get Banish. This is an excellent card that a lot of people are including in different builds, including myself in like some of my testing in Rosinante. So interestingly enough that neither of the green SRs are originally from a starter deck, but I don't think it's going to be complaining or a lot of complaining, I will say, from people. Going back to red, I want to talk about this Koala real quick. So this Koala originally locked in regional packs, right? You had to participate in different, I think you could in a Treasure Cup, but I remember getting mine at like the Vegas regional in those participation packs. So they were like a $20-some card at the time, but alongside its PRB reprint, it's getting another one in this starter deck. And as you saw on Twitter, right, kind of has a non-full art printing of it as well, unlike the regional promo that we saw. So really like that they included some of these cards specifically in there. I'll talk about a couple more of them in a second, but makes it really nice, especially as people who are getting into the game or maybe learning how to play, or maybe just don't have a lot of cards in general. You're struggling to be able to get some cards because not everybody really at a certain point was selling Cavendishes, right? Or selling their starter deck cards. And maybe you didn't want to fork over $20 per Koala. There's other starter deck 21 cards as well that are included in this deck on the red side, including this Sanji right here, right? An unblockable Sanji that we've seen in red-green Luffy in the OP13 format, so a really good, timely reprint. You've got the Nico Robin right here, right, which I know some people were playing in like Marco or something like that. The Tony Chopper, which is just a 4/6 vanilla, which typically most starter decks have vanillas. And Gum Gum Mole Pistol. This event kind of took storm this past weekend in the different regionals that were happening in the West. A lot of Rayleighs have just decided to play like 3 or 4 of these Mole Pistols, and especially because you only get 2 in a starter deck 21 package, there may be a lot of people out there that only own 2 of these. So to be able to get another set of 2 potentially is going to be really nice. We don't know the official count of how many are in a starter deck, but just to be able to round out those play sets, especially for a lot of these starter deck cards on the SRs for the red side, is so good. And red has a couple other good reprints as well, including Gum Gum King Kong Gatling. Now, I know this is a tech card some people play in Rayleigh, and maybe some other film or Straw Hat Crew leaders could decide to play this, especially because you get a boost of power, right, if you want to play this. It is a good card in general, especially on the event side. And 2K Tony Chopper from OP10. Really nice to see this guy in there. I know Red Green Smokers, right, if you're trying to play that deck, love this card, and there's even some other decks that love playing this card as well. Definitely a good reprint, especially on the regular rare side within this deck. And there's a couple other good cards in here too. A vanilla, right, 2K vanilla in Usopp, which was printed out in OP11. We got a Zoro from OP11 as well, being able to give Arrested Dawn to a leader on this effect. Has really good synergy with the starter deck 21 leader in that Luffy if you want to upgrade a starter deck in a sense. And Divine Departure in there. Really cool that we're seeing a card have like one of those event alternate arts, right, get a reprint within the set, especially because Divine Departure, I think, was the first event to have that kind of alternate style in there. And then on the green side, there's incredible cards, good synergy within this deck, right? Just basically every single card in here is a slash type character, so your Hiyori is never going to whiff at all, right? Finding a slash or green event. You've got 2-drop Koshiro, which is really, really good. This is going to teach people a lot of times, especially with potentially KO effects, to be able to keep those alive, especially if Blue Yellow Nami or the supposed third leader and deck has a certain KO effect, right? Maybe has a Zeus in that deck. Also has the Shimotsuki Kozaburo, which is just a staple 2K in the green Zoro deck, so you'll love to see that. The 4-cost green Zoro, I think a really nice card, right? Especially in the mirror match if you don't have those. An EBO2 reprint with this Zoro as well. This is a really nice one, right? Kind of teaching players about not only on play effect, but also kind of the ongoing effects, right? Especially in combination of the Koshiro. Having that ability to get the pseudo rush, right? A character attacking other characters on the turn that it's play. I think it's really cool. Ryuma from OP06 is in this as well. I think this one's really, really cool, right? Definitely going to be good in this matchup, specifically KOing a rested 4-cost on the field. You got a 2K in Kawamatsu, very typical within the green Zoro deck. Tashigi, which is arguably the most important card in green Zoro, right? Being able to rest a cost higher than itself and also give 3 Rested Dawn cards, to your leader Zoro to be able to use your leader effect and swing twice. Just a great card within this deck. You got another 2K vanilla in Nekomamushi. You got a Kinemon, which is a 6/8 guy on the field, in 2 different events. One being the Billionfold World that's a word, which is not necessarily something that is overly playable within decks, but allows you to kind of think about that more rested cards equals more power kind of effect. I think this is really, really cool to have in the decks. And another one of the staples, Luffy is the man who will become King of the Pirates. It is the restand event for Zoro. So honestly, like, I'm already so excited about this product, not only because the cards are going to be able to be legal for play, right? Especially if you're a collector, this is really, really cool. But also on top of that, these decks are just very well thought out, right? These could debatably be some of the best starter decks that we have like on release. So if you're looking to pick up the game, you're picking up a deck that maybe isn't totally complete or ideal, but it's going to be good enough to flow well, right? You're going to be able to easily understand a lot of different effects that are in this deck. But on top of that, you've got like a pretty coherent deck, I think, for the most part. And again, there's still cards that we don't know about in the green and red deck, but I think this deck MSRPing for $40, and you're going to get 3 of these different decks. It's basically 3 starter decks for $40, and you get 3 different extra card packs, whatever that is, on top of it, as well as a deck case, a 2-player play sheet, or basically playmat with the different zones on it, and 3 different guidebooks. So if you and a friend want to learn how to play this game, you can go ahead, play together, and have the guidebooks to learn at your own pace. I highly recommend also, if you're looking maybe to play the game or maybe get someone involved in playing the game, want to watch the video, I will have the link to this video in the description below as well. well, to where you can watch, get a good idea of this. They kind of just touch on the game and some of the different things, but really show, like, on this video, they've got the turn phase right here. There's even in these guidebooks like a step-by-step guide of what you can do on your turn, which I think is like super, super cool, right? It's kind of one of the best introductory products that they've produced so far. And if you know me from like Pokemon and stuff, you know I absolutely love the introductory products that Pokemon creates to make it very easy for players to not only get into the game and start playing, but become a little bit more competitive, right? So this is a really, really neat one. I really like this. And thank you so much for watching as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see the blue, yellow Nami or whatever the Nami deck is. I guess I can't call blue, yellow. I'm just assuming it's blue, yellow. But in the future, thank you so much. Make sure to, again, subscribe to see more content that we've got here on the channel, and we'll see you later.